there's a scene that is raising concerns from fans, and pretty much people is demanding answers from none other than WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert. Let me pull up this picture right here, guys, because this one right here is crazy, bro. I mean, just crazy.
The WNBA genuinely believed that footage showing Ryan Howard literally pushing Caitlin Clark to the ground would go unreported. Is this unbelievable? Ryan Howard refused to let her get off the ground when she attempted to do so. The referee was standing there as if they were witnessing a whole different sport, and Howard was essentially acting as a bodyguard to keep Clark down. But for whatever reason, the officials don't consider this a foul. People, this isn't even the sole video from the game.
Clark gets pushed around, thrown to the floor during games, and teammates are standing there just looking, not doing anything. Sophie Cunningham will do something, while other players get a microphone put in front of them, doing their media interviews, while they regurgitate the same nonsense, the same word salad that Stephanie White lies says. Sophie Cunningham will say,
Here's the worst part, though. In that particular game, it didn't even occur once, not even close. You would think Caitlin Clark was trying out for a position on an NFL offensive line because of how frequently she was jostled, held back, pushed, and shoved. Yes, she did eventually receive a few foul calls that went her way. Perhaps the referees were aware that the cameras were indeed rolling. However, 3 more obvious holds, shoves, and hacks were disregarded for every whistle. The league appears to be perfectly happy to allow it to continue as it has become a routine.
This is the picture right here that has went viral. Yeah, this is the storybook of Caitlin Clark's season, bro. That's just all I can say. Look at this. Somebody said this shot from the Fever versus the Fever versus Dream game. Look at Caitlin's face as she passes the ball. She's literally on her knees. Somebody's hovering over her back. Somebody said it's 1 in 15 missed foul calls. This is ridiculous. And this right here shows you that the WNBA referees has a hidden agenda against Caitlin, bro. It's just simple as that.
Contacting Caitlin Clark is something that opposing teams adore. They are well aware of their actions. The referees are too afraid to call fouls on Clark, they discovered. However, why? Is it because she is the league's spokesperson? Are they envious of her for giving women's basketball such a high profile?
So, the big way they were able to neutralize Caitlin Clark, and I think it was almost an issue with Stephanie White as much as anything, is they were manhandling her. They were manhandling Caitlin Clark early in that game. Like, they had 2 hands on her. They were fully getting into the we are grabbing her and we don't really care. Like, that was their goal. Their goal was they were out there to maul Caitlin Clark. They had they had absolutely no intention of doing anything other than mauling Caitlin Clark.
It's foolish. To be honest, players treat Caitlin badly, and the statistics support this targeting. In the WNBA, she has been the victim of 17% of all egregious fouls. That is completely absurd when you consider it. This indicates that one player has been the target of 1 out of every 6 egregious fouls in the league. She is currently setting records everywhere she goes.
It's a protective dancing, bro. Like, this is not real. Like, this, well, it is real, but it shouldn't be real. Somebody said ref was just staring. And Kelsey Mitchell in the background was just standing there. I mean, just staring. Wow, bro. Somebody said these refs not serious at all.
80% of the egregious fouls against Clark were the result of the Chicago Sky. She was flagrantly fouled 4 times out of 5. The grunt job was being done in Chicago. However, this is where things go terribly wrong. The referees continued to overlook these indiscretions in real time, only raising them to serious infractions once the games were over.
Not out there to play legit defense. They were there to maul Caitlin Clark as much as they possibly could. And realistically, it worked. It worked. Like, it wasn't even like a lot of the stuff was a couple of off-ball fouls, but there were quite a few. There were quite a few situations where it was from behind. So you saw pictures like this. They literally had two hands on the back of Caitlin Clark's jersey. So if anytime Caitlin tried to move, it was two hands on her back. She couldn't move off the ball. She was being hacked off the ball, and the referees allow contact with guards off the ball, which they shouldn't.
If you're enjoying the content, don't forget to subscribe. Now, let's talk about what Caitlin Clark has been enduring all season long. She's not just playing basketball, she's surviving it. Night after night, she's taking hits that go far beyond what most superstars ever face. And according to her, players are getting away with things against her that they wouldn't dare try on anyone else. It's like there's a different rule book when it comes to Clark. The physicality, the cheap shots, the blatant fouls, they've become routine. But instead of protecting her, the league seems to expect her to just take it all and smile. They want Caitlin to be the face of the WNBA, to draw the crowds, sell the tickets, grow the game. But when it comes to her safety, her respect, that's apparently negotiable. I think everybody is physical with me. They get away with things that probably other people don't get away with, Clark said, and she's absolutely right. The double standard couldn't be more obvious. And honestly, it's an insult to anyone paying attention.
The Indiana Fever won by 17 points last night. 17. And this is how they played defense against Caitlin Clark all night. Jordan Canada, career game. Over 30 points. She had 6 made threes in the first half. She played defense like this on Caitlin Clark all night, despite the fact that Caitlin Clark played limited minutes. 12 points, 4 rebounds, 9 assists, and helping lead her team to a 17-point win. This is how they played defense on her all night.
Stephanie White, the head coach of the Indiana Fever, finally lost it and criticized the referees as being rude. It has been astonishing how disrespectful they have been to Clark and the team. White claims that although the referees behave as though they are witnessing a whole different sport, she has been watching her best player get hammered. Even seasoned athletes like Sophie Cunningham, who was disqualified for standing up for Clark, have spoken out against the bias against him. Cunningham chastised the referees for their consistent failure to shield the biggest star in the league during the season. The situation has become so terrible that Clark's teammates are being kicked out of games for supporting her.
Look at this. Like, what are we doing here? I tell y'all all the time. Every time people play the Indiana Fever, they do too much. Bree Jones almost took out like 3 people that game. Matter of fact, let's watch it again. Watch the clock. And I bet y'all gonna say, oh, it was an accident. Because every time somebody do something to somebody on the Indiana Fever, y'all say it's an accident. I know.
But here's the beautiful part. Caitlin Clark didn't let the constant fouls break her spirit. She didn't lash out. She didn't fold. Instead, she responded the best way any true competitor does, by leading her team to victory. In a dominant performance, the Indiana Fever took down the Atlanta Dream 99-82. And even though her own shots weren't falling, hitting just 1 of 7 from beyond the arc, Clark didn't back down. She stepped up in a different way. She became the maestro, controlling the tempo, setting the tone, and orchestrating the offense like a seasoned veteran. With 9 assists and total command of the floor, she showed everyone that she's not just a scorer, she's a leader. I know the shot is going to fall, Clark said after the win, but honestly, this might be one of my best games managing the pace and playing the way we needed to. I was a true floor general tonight, and I'm more proud of that than making shots. And that's exactly what this team needed. Not just a star, but a commander. And that's what she was.
How easy it is when you just let Caitlyn play ball and others follow suit instead of trying to put a square peg in a round hole. This was a tale of two halves. A tale of two halves. A half where the Indiana Fever let Jordan Canada have wide open shots, and a half where they decided to play defense and shut Jordan Canada down and not let Ryan Howard get off.
The Fever's 59 second-half points weren't just impressive, they were historic. It was their highest scoring half of the season and matched their best in the last 7 years. With 99 total points, it marked their second-best offensive game this year, but this wasn't just a win-out, it was a message, while defenders tried to rattle Caitlin Clark with cheap shots and hard fouls. She let her game do the talking. She didn't retaliate with anger, she responded with excellence. While they tried to knock her down, she built something bigger, a victory that echoed across the league. Because here's the truth, they're going to keep coming for her. That's what happens when greatness shows up. When they can't match your skill, they attack your body. When they can't outplay you, they try to wear you down. But Caitlin Clark doesn't fold under pressure. She thrives in it. Every hard foul, every cheap shot, every no call, it only makes her stronger. She's taken elbows, body checks, and even eye pokes. And she's still here, still dropping dimes, still hitting logo threes, still carrying her team. And more than anything, she's still proving that she's not just a superstar. She is the heart and soul of this league.
She might not get as many open threes as she usually does. She might not get the opportunity to shoot logo threes unless it's in transition, and that's all okay. That's the growth and the physicality of the WNBA. But her drawing attention to herself, either by on ball or off ball, is allowing her teammates to get in good scoring positions and for them to cook and for that, Aerie driving in and dishing to Tasha Howard. Like, there's so many good things going on around Caitlin Clark that even when she's in the corner, they're still able to be successful.
Despite all the hits, the fouls, the constant targeting, Caitlin Clark still delivered one of the greatest rookie seasons the WNBA has ever seen. She didn't just compete. She rewrote history. Clark shattered the WNBA single-season assist record with 337 assists. She broke the rookie scoring record with 769 points. And she became the first rookie in league history to record a triple-double. All while being physically tested night after night. She set a new single-game assist record with 19 in one outing. She made 122 three-pointers, the most ever by a rookie. Game after game, stat after stat, she's done what no one else has before in women's professional basketball. But her impact goes far beyond the numbers. Caitlin Clark is the engine behind a movement, the face of what's being called the Caitlin Clark effect. Her presence alone has led to an explosion in WNBA popularity. Arenas are selling out. Viewership is breaking records. Every time she steps on the court, history follows, and the most incredible part? She's just getting started.
How much the WNBA hates Caitlin Clark. Like, I saw today that they picked Angel Reese to be like the cover athlete for 2K, and I just think it's funny how no one really ever cared about the WNBA. They barely made any money. They actually lost money as a league. They were pretty irrelevant. They had no good TV deals. They had terrible ratings, and all of a sudden they have this godsend, Caitlin Clark. And since she's gotten into the WNBA, the league has gained so much popularity. People actually care about it now. People are going to the games now. Their TV ratings, the money all the players are making, everything's way up, and they just fucking despise her. And yeah, you could argue it's because how talented she is. Like, we've never seen a girls basketball player as talented as she is, but I think it's something different.
A franchise single-season attendance record was set by the Indiana Fever. And there, with 20,711 spectators, the regular season finale set a league attendance record. Even while she is traveling, Clark's presence has been so captivating that she feels at home at every game. Because of Clark, half of the Atlanta crowd was rooting for the Fever. In her debut season, She is averaging 19.2 points, 8.4 assists, and 5.7 rebounds per game. She is enduring more physical abuse than any other player in the league, and those are all-star figures. Her remarkable mental toughness is demonstrated by the fact that she continues to perform at an elite level in spite of the relentless targeting.
The 9th best guard in the league. Picked up well before half court. And then was just grabbed and suffocated all night. All night. This is the defense. 9th best guard in the league.
What's truly mind-blowing is how officials continue to miss blatant fouls against Caitlin Clark over and over again. Take this for example. Marina Mabrey literally shoved Clark to the floor after the whistle, a dead ball situation. That's not just a foul, that's a non-basketball act. Something that, by the book, should have earned an immediate ejection. But what did she get? Just a technical foul. No accountability. No protection. Just another moment where the refs looked the other way. Officials have come under fire lately, and for good reason. Multiple reports and analysts have pointed out the clear double standard being applied to Clark. The calls she doesn't get are the same ones other stars receive without question. And it's not just the fans noticing, even major media voices are speaking out, calling on the WNBA to do more to protect their brightest star. Through it all, Caitlin has stayed composed, poised, focused. When asked about the physicality, her response was simple. This is a very physical game and you're going to get pressure. This is professional basketball. It is what it is. That's the mindset of a true professional. Someone who knows she's being targeted, but refuses to let it change how she plays. She takes the hits, she gets up, and she keeps delivering.
I watched this player get eye gouged. After getting eye gouged, the same person that eye gouged her walked up on her, and at the same time, simultaneously, there was another girl who approached her from the side and knocked her down to the point where she was on the ground. My question to you is, how are you going to fix this? Because I don't understand if this is a referee issue because they can't call out double dribbles and traveling and things like that. I don't know if they just can't see this stuff, so they're not going to do anything about it, or if they're in on it as well.
You know who the real MVPs are in all of this? The fans. The ones who've been calling it out since day one. The ones who saw the imbalance, felt the injustice, and refused to stay quiet. While others made excuses, the fans were saying, "We told you so," and now the numbers speak for themselves. When 17% of all flagrant fouls are committed against one player, you don't need to be a basketball analyst to know something's wrong. These fans have watched Caitlin Clark take hit after hit all season long. They've posted videos, broken down plays, and demanded better officiating. They've been the loudest advocates for fairness, and the biggest reason the league couldn't keep turning a blind eye. Because without that pressure, things might have stayed the same. But here's the powerful part. Even with all of that, Clark has continued to shine. She's not just surviving the game, she's changing it. The world is watching now. And maybe, just maybe, WNBA officials will finally stop trying to rewrite the rules and start calling the game the way it's supposed to be called, fairly.
I think I found a real rivalry in the WNBA. And it's not Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. It's Caitlin Clark and Ryan Howard. And they've been going at it for years. Recently, they got a lot of attention because they were chirping back and forth after a Fever Dream game. But the thing is, this rivalry actually could be great for the league. You gotta understand, to have a real rivalry, it has to have some layers behind it. It can't be something falsely orchestrated by the media. It needs to be organic. And this one definitely fits the bill.
It's a good thing Caitlin Clark has the kind of mental toughness most athletes only dream of. Because let's be honest, the targeting isn't going to stop. But here's the truth. While others try to slow her down with cheap shots and hard fouls, Clark keeps rising above it all. She keeps draining threes. She keeps winning games for the Indiana Fever. And she keeps proving that no amount of physical punishment can stop her from dominating the court. What makes her rookie season so remarkable isn't just the stats. It's everything she's had to overcome to get them. The constant fouling, the missed calls, the double standards. Yet despite all of that, she's delivered a historic season. Caitlin Clark isn't just a great player. She's a symbol of resilience. She's someone who faced systemic bias, took the hits, and still made history. That's the mark of a true champion. As her career continues, one thing is certain. She's not done yet. She'll keep breaking records. She'll keep changing the game, whether the referees catch up or not. And years from now, when we look back at those clips of her being shoved, elbowed, and knocked to the floor, they won't be remembered as signs of weakness. They'll be proof of how she rose through the adversity to become one of the greatest the WNBA has ever seen. Because that's who she is, and that's what greatness looks like.